Welcome back into another episode of the Stamped Wright NBA Draft.
I was looking at my phone, dude. It's on Reels.
I just started. You had to be looking at Reels. We had 5 minutes before the rest of the day to scroll.
Bro, I didn't realize we were starting.
Oh my goodness. Well, anyway, welcome back into the 6th episode of the Stamped Wright NBA Draft podcast. I'm Michael Stamps, unfortunately joined by Killian Wright, like usual.
You're grateful for my presence, dude. Be grateful.
Okay. Not much has happened in between then the last time we recorded and now, except for the fact that I posted it a week late, which is awesome. Do you have any thoughts on any moves that have happened, which is very minimal? A favorite move, maybe? I guess the only notable one is Norman Powell, which happened on Monday morning, and I really don't even know the full details of it. So if you want to speak on that, Killian, go ahead. Hit me with your thoughts here.
I think it made sense to the Clippers. Norm was good last year, but he wasn't going to get any better, obviously. I mean, he's on the wrong side of 30 and not really anything besides a score, which isn't terrible. It's just not perfect. So the Clippers get John Collins in return for him, which is fine. But the Jazz essentially get nothing in return for John Collins. They get 1 second-round pick and then salary, which I'm assuming both those guys are going to be bought out. I don't imagine they'll stick around in Utah. But in all this offseason, Utah has drafted Ace, Clayton, and Tanji. And then as far as the guys they're sending out, they sent out Sexton and they bought out Clarkson and traded John Collins for guys that they're just going to buy out. And then they didn't even gain any picks from that because they sent one away with Sexton to get Nurkic. And then they got one in return for Collins. So they really didn't even gain any picks for that. So basically the Nets, or not the Nets, they suck too. The Jazz just traded their 3 best players for nothing. So I'm not really sure what that was about. I'm not out here saying they should have been getting unprotected first for Sexton and Collins or something, but really that. I mean, Sexton's a probably career 19 point per game scorer who's capable on defense, and Collins is probably about a career 17 a game guy who's contributed on a playoff conference finals run. Can get anything. It's a little weird. I don't know. They confuse me a lot.
Yeah, I mean, at least they have a lot of young players. The Jazz have a lot of young players who might not be good, but could be good, and it's hard to say.
They do have players on the roster.
They have players on the roster, and I mean, they have players on the roster. A lot of fun. I mean, there's fun ones. I like Isaiah Collier. Maybe that's it, actually. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, good for them.
That's pretty bad. I thought I was gonna have a positive thought, but I don't. So yeah.
You'll get some. I mean, hey, their summer league roster right now is probably damn near what their main roster is going to be.
Yeah, I guess
right?
that's that's a good
thing. The starting lineup right now will probably be a starting lineup in one of their games by January. I bet it's Collier, Ice Bryce Sensabaugh, Filipowski, Cody, and Ace. That's probably going to be a starting lineup at some point or another.
I hope Cody Williams gets fixed because I do like him, but
yeah,
he's just was astronomically bad. Yeah, not much else happened outside of that. What did I mention earlier? Jay Huff to the Pacers, which is honestly kind of fun.
He's going to start, right?
Yeah, he'll probably start. Yeah. And he does does he not do a lot of what Miles Turner did?
Basically.
So, I don't know. That's kind of fun, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's really it. What you said, Spencer Dinwiddie is going to Charlotte, right?
Yeah, Charlotte added their 14th guard of the offseason. I don't know what's going on over there, but one of them is going to work out.
Yeah, I think Dennis Schroeder's headed to Sacramento in a sign and trade. So I guess there's not really too much to say on the free agency side of things. I mean, Paolo Banchero just signed a big old contract.
That's a big contract.
Yeah.
Big. deal.
Do you have any thoughts on that? I feel like you're not the biggest Paolo fan.
I'm not a big Paulo guy, but at the same time, like I understand why they did it. Like you can't really just not pay him. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you just gotta hope he works out. I don't think he's all that good right now. But I'm not saying I don't think he can be, but um, you're now like 100% totally locked into this core four, and they better figure it out. So, I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know. At least this is the most direction Orlando's ever had since like the Dwight years. So good. I'm like good for them. I can't hate
Yeah.
on it much.
Yeah. Cam Whitmore is headed to the Washington Wizards for a couple second-round picks. So that's a pretty. I mean, I think a lot of people think they're a fun team, and Cam Whitmore just furthers that case. They're kind of like a better version of like what we said about Utah. Like they have players on their roster and they're good and they're fun, but I think getting them to play together and finding that medium of what works and what doesn't work might present a little bit of a challenge. So that will be interesting to follow. But yeah, I think for the most part, nothing crazy on the free agency front. Do you have any other last thoughts before we pivot to the summer league for a little bit?
Not totally. Well, one thing I will say that like a lot of people think like what's happening this offseason is like an anomaly of teams not having any cap space in regards to like Giddey, Grimes, Cam Thomas, Kuminga, not getting these extensions. And I'll take Grimes out of this conversation, but in regards to like Giddey, Cam, and Kuminga, I think this is more in like in regards to teams not wanting to pay like drag suits who are kind of like there for the tank years and like, whoa, I'm putting up good stats, man. Like, pay me. Well, you're not very good, so no. Like, I kind of think that's what's going on. And I think that might stick around a little more than people realize. So interesting. It's kind of the first guys that this has happened to, I feel like, as far as guys to get out of the rookie contract and have high, like be viewed highly and then all of a sudden like not. It's happening to a lot of them. But I think that's interesting. And maybe a few guys from this year's draft could have that happen to them down the road, but we'll see. It's way too early.
Yeah, I don't hate the fact that we haven't paid Josh Giddey yet. Because I do like him. I know you don't, and that's cool. There's plenty of reasons not to like Josh Giddey, but
I think there's people who do like him.
but no, I do like Josh Giddey, but he hasn't done enough to earn that amount of money yet. So
Yeah,
it's Chicago doesn't make a lot of smart front office moves, but as of right now, they're in the middle of a smart decision. If they do pay him that amount of money, I'm not going to say it's not a smart decision, but you're asking a lot of him. So
how would you feel if they gave him the Jalen Green, like the 3 years, 90 million instead of the 5 years, 150? How'd you feel about that?
It's better. It's better.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, 5 years is like a chokehold. I mean, and he could be bad, and by year 3, you're either stuck with him or you have to trade him.
Yeah.
So I would rather it. I mean, yeah, 3 years would be fine. It's a lot of money still. I'm trying to like run down the list of contracts in my head. Like when will Buzelis need to be
3 years.
So, I mean, there's going to be guys you want to be ready to pay by then. Chicago's having such a Chicago offseason, I feel like. I mean, literally running back the same team.
Well, now they
plus
added
Isaac Okoro.
Yeah.
Plus Isaac Okoro. Minus Lonzo Ball. Patrick Williams is still a money vacuum. You added a good young player. Vucevic is still on the team, unfortunately. Like I think he'll get bought out.
At this point.
I kind of hope he does at this point. I don't know what's going to happen with Josh Giddey. Like, who's going to take Josh Giddey if he doesn't go back to Chicago?
No one has money. It would have to be the Jazz or the Nets, but I don't see it from either of them I just don't see it.
Or he's going to have to be ready to take less money. So that seems like the likely option. Or, I mean, the most likely option is Chicago caves and gives him $30 million. Agreed. So let's cross our fingers that doesn't happen. But yeah, let's pivot to the Summer League, which I have watched one game of. So, Killian, you might be a little more well-versed in what you've seen so far in the Summer League. Has anything caught your eye at all?
Topic looks pretty sick.
Topic does look pretty
Mhm.
sick.
I remember seeing like in last year on his draft profiles that like, yeah, he's undersized, but he's super active in the passing lanes. And like, I think he had 3 steals tonight and 2 steals the other night. I definitely active, and that fits in with kind of what OKC does of, hey, just rack up as many stocks as possible and we'll make it work. Smart guy, like seems like he knows what he's doing with the ball. Like he feels pretty confident for playing his first basketball game in like over a year. So that's pretty sick to see. I think he's cool. Yeah, Barnheiser looks cool.
Yeah,
VJ
Brian.
solid.
I was gonna say Barnheiser looks kind of fun. I don't know what his like role is gonna be, but yeah,
Fun
he's
guy.
definitely fun guy.
Yeah,
Fun guy.
yeah.
VJ also looks incredible, but
What do you think about Broom? Broom took 4 threes, and last I checked, he had 5 threes tonight. I don't know if he took any more than that, but
like shooting them or making them.
well, he was 2 for 4 last night.
2 for 5 tonight.
Okay. I think that's a good step. If Broom's going to be a guy who takes threes like more regularly, like I think that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
And it's very small sample size, obviously, but that's 50 and 40%.
Yeah. I mean, what did he shoot? We had this conversation because I compared him to Jalen Williams. He shot what?
He shot like 30% on like
30%. 30% on 30% on his career, one attempt per game, 28% on 3 attempts per game. But he did shoot in the 23-24 season, he did shoot 35% on 2.3 per game. So I don't know. Good sign for him, I guess. I just had the OKC Philly box score pulled up. I loved Jalen Slauson, so he had a fine game.
Kings last year, right?
What?
Yeah. Kings last
I believe so.
Yeah.
He seems like a guy who's going to end up on the Nets at one point, like in the next 2 seasons. Like one of those young, like I don't know. He seems like he seems like a Brooklyn Net. But yeah, Philly is actually such an interesting team because like with Adem Bona and Justin Edwards, they're kind of in weird, like they're kind of in like a weird category of young players. Like Justin Edwards was undrafted, right?
Yeah,
last year, and he's incredible. I mean, he's not incredible. I'm not gonna say that, but like
he's one of the better undrafted guys of the last few years. Like,
he's gonna be a really good player. And like I don't know. I mean, if Paul George sucks this year, like couldn't he start? I mean, he's good defender.
I would prevent that, but I'm not saying that. I think Justin Edwards could very well pass him up in talent. So I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of Justin Edwards, so that's always fun. Just running down the list of stats and things like that. I mean, I saw Cole Swider had a good game. He's a G League.
Dude, why is Cole Swider not got like a real shot in the NBA yet? Like
he's just a G League. He's a summer league merchant.
I think he's good though. Like he's like a career like 40%.
DJ Stewart. DJ Stewart is a summer league merchant.
Yeah, he's
Eric Stevenson. I feel like had good games last season in the summer league. Yeah, that's it. Filipowski looks like he played good. Oh, AJ Mitchell obviously was great. Should probably stop playing.
I think he will.
Yeah, Jalen Wells probably should stop playing.
He was. I didn't understand that. Jalen Wells was like second in rookie of the year last year. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't talk about Ace Bailey. He had a pretty Ace Bailey-ish game, but I didn't hate all. I only saw bits and pieces of his game, but didn't hate his shot selection, except for the part where they weren't going in, and he was fine on defense. So I don't know. Obviously, got to see a lot more from him, but I feel like what we saw from Ace Bailey is going to be his rookie, like a pretty good indication of what his rookie season is going to be.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Didn't hate it. Didn't love it. I mean, I don't really have many other thoughts. Do you have like from what we've seen so far, like who would be your G League MVP?
Like Summer League MVP?
Summer League MVP, excuse me.
I mean, like AJ's had 2 good games. Unless VJ didn't even play tonight.
No.
Probably AJ then.
Yeah.
But obviously, this is just Salt Lake City, and I don't think it counts towards the.
We'll see if Jalen Wells or Gigi Jackson or Cam Spencer. Cam Spencer has 17 first half points right now. So that could be interesting. Memphis' G League team is disgusting.
You always have a
They're
ridiculous.
so good because Zion Poland, I remember being good.
Yeah.
Philandris Fleming Jr. might be all name team. I don't even know who that is, but yeah, not a ton of thoughts in the summer league so far. I'm sure by the next time we get after this, we'll have more to say. But any parting words for the summer league?
No,
Start of it at least.
See what happens in Vegas, I guess, and a little more teams.
Yeah. I never. These are words I'd never thought I'd say in my life, but I'll be writing game recaps of OKC's summer league games starting here this week. So I'll get some good intel from those two matchups. All right, for the last part of this episode, we're gonna do a little exercise running down some past NBA drafts. Killian, you were the founding father of this idea, so I'll let you.
It's my baby.
Yeah, I'll let you explain it.
So we're going start bench cut with the last 4 draft classes. Every little series in it includes at least one prospect from the 2025 class. And then I tried to go with the 2024 and 2023 class as the other two in most of them. But the 24 class is kind of on the lower end of talent, obviously. So had to include some 2022 in there. Not too much, but there's definitely a few where I had to dip into that well, as I was just trying to keep it as to 1 per class at the most. I included the top 15 picks and then a couple other fun ones here that maybe me and Michael had opinions on that other people didn't or whatnot. And for the start bench cut, to clarify, like we'll just be taking into account just their talent and what we think they'll be in the future. So this isn't like a today thing, like who's better, because obviously there's a bunch of guys that haven't played. It's a who would we take in the future. You don't need to consider team fit like with a specific team, and you don't need to consider contracts, obviously. Just kind of is what it is. So we can go ahead and get right into it. The first one, and these comparisons are all just like what I thought. I tried to pick players who were in similar molds or at least have similar situations. But yeah, so
I'm just gonna say really quick that I looked at this list for 30 seconds beforehand, so we're getting all like live raw reaction here. So
probably the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so off the bat, we've got 3 number 1 picks. We've got Flag, Wemby, and Paolo. Obviously, this is one where I had to skip 2024 because I think kind of very clearly Risache wouldn't have been in the conversation with these 3 guys. So I'm interested to hear your take. I know what mine is, but I'll let you go first. As you're eating Cheez-Its or something.
Dude, every single time I buy a bag of Cheez-Its like once a week, and it doesn't last long.
Cheez-Its are like low-key nasty.
It's a bad take. Start bench cut, Cheez-Its, Goldfish, and
Dots pretzels.
Dots pretzels, yeah.
Yeah. Do I get to choose the flavors? Or am I stuck with the original?
I mean, the Dots pretzels, I feel yeah. I'll let you pick flavors.
Give me extra cheddar Goldfish at the start. And then I'll go the red Dots at the bench. And then I would cut Cheez-Its, but if I got to choose, I would go like the hot and spicy Cheez-Its, and that's like a respectable cut. Like, hey, we're gonna let you go, but like go be great. Yeah. Like, if it was like OG Cheez-Its, like hit the road. But
see, yeah. I'm the opposite. I am starting classic Cheez-Its. A lot of people like the roasted ones, you know what I mean, or like the extra
the little puffy ones.
The toasted ones. Like they
got like the extra thing on the edges.
They're a little crispy. No, come on,
they're like burnt.
Yeah, burnt Cheez-Its. No, just give me a classic Cheez-It at 1. Honestly, I rock with extra cheddar Goldfish. Throw those at 2 and Dots pretzels at 3. Yeah. Dots, I got to be in a mood for a Dots pretzel, you know?
Yeah, I only have them like once every couple months, but like when I do, I'll eat like a whole bag in a sitting.
Also, not that like they taste any different, but you know, there's the Goldfish, like the rainbow ones. I feel like those always tasted better.
Really?
I think so.
The vibes were off there. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, you win some, you lose some,
Yeah.
whatever you say. We'll get back into this.
Goldfish with Cooper
so-
Flag for now.
Start, bench, cut, Flag, Wemby, Paolo. So can we clarify, is this them as prospects or like who I
This
think is
like
going to be?
right now today, like who would you take in terms of like their future careers? So like you have the
okay.
eyes of today.
I got you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start Wemby. I feel like that's the pretty cut clear right answer. If you had to label like one player as like in the youngest generation basketball right now as the next face of the NBA, it would probably be him.
He is the youngest person ever.
Yeah, youngest top. Yeah. But like in the on the younger side of players, if you had to pick one of the younger guys, it would be him to be the next face of the NBA, in my opinion. So I don't think that's very controversial. And this, oh man,
I'm gonna do it.
oh man,
If you are, I'm gonna do it.
I don't know if we're on the same page. I think I'm gonna bench Paolo
Mm.
and cut Flag because I think let me like verify what I'm about to say before I embarrass myself. Yes, okay. So I feel like Paolo kind of like proved himself that he could be an elite scorer. And I don't know if Cooper Flag is gonna be like is Cooper Flag gonna be a 25 point per game scorer in his career? And I know that's not the type of prospect he is and what people expect him to be. But I also feel like Paolo has some physical tools that Cooper doesn't. And Cooper Flag is going to be a player who impacts the game in so many different ways on defense as a playmaker and as a scorer. Not saying he won't, but that might kind of limit, I guess, what he can do when it comes to like overall NBA greatness. I know you don't like Paolo, so we're gonna have different answers. So I'm gonna start Wemby, bench Paolo, cut Cooper Flag. I feel like that might be a hot take. Is that hot?
I don't think it's a hot take. It's just like not one I agree with.
Mm-hmm.
But like I would obviously start Wemby, and then
Mm-hmm.
I would bench Coop and cut Paolo. I think Coop I think right now, I think Coop's a better defender than like Paolo probably ever will be.
I agree.
I think that's fair to say. And so like that alone is kind of like a big deal to me. And like I also think we'll have to see how his reads translate to the NBA. I also kind of think he's a better playmaker than Paolo is. Like obviously both can grow, but I think Coop is and probably will be a better playmaker, which is also a big deal. And Paolo has the tools to be like a number one scoring option, but like he hasn't really done it too well yet. He's really struggled in both his playoff series. Obviously, getting Desmond Bane is supposed to help out a lot, so we'll see how that works. But so far, Paolo hasn't really done anything to me where I'm like super sold on him being like a 1A. Like, oh yeah, this guy is getting me far in the playoffs. And I'm not 100% sold on Flag being that either yet. Is like first option Jason Tatum, you're getting us to the playoffs, but I am sold on him being like a top 8 defender and like a minimum of like an 18 point per game efficient score, which is enough for me.
Yeah, I don't know if I could foresee him being that elite of a scorer, but I guess crazier things have happened. Not that that's a crazy thing. I shouldn't say that. Poor choice, but I see where you're coming from.
Of like 17, 18 a game for Flag?
That's probably pretty reasonable.
He might get that this year. Like honestly. He'll probably hit at least 15 this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no Kyrie.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I was going to say something, but I forgot, so.
Solid. We'll just interrupt if you think about it again.
Okay.
All right. Next one. I kind of
got you.
Sweet. Yeah. You're mudded, dude. The next one I went with guys who are kind of viewed as like the number 2s in their classes right now. Obviously it's a little bit up for debate, but again, I skipped the 2024 class because they just don't really compare with a top end talent. So I went with Dylan Harper, Amen Thompson, and Jalen Williams. I kind of think there's a clear cut one here, but the other 2 is more up for debate, and someone had to be thrown in. Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Dude, I have no idea. I mean, Jalen Williams is obviously the number 1 choice, and I don't think either of us really need to explain why, but oh man. Um,
Downloading. Walk us through the train of thought. What's going on?
where would you rank Amen among like wing defenders like right now? Like I think he's
Like minimum top 5.
right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, how do I formulate the words I'm trying to say? It's kind of like, I'm not comparing him to Cooper Flag, but like when I say that he can impact winning in so many ways, I think he has that type of impact, and he already is like a 14 point per game scorer, which I mean I didn't even know if that, like, that's honestly better than I thought it was going to be this early in his career. Um, so, but I don't know how to I don't know how to think about Harper, man. You know what? I'm gonna say Williams, Amen, and Harper, but I don't have any rationale for having Harper at the bottom. So I'll listen to your thoughts and maybe I'll agree with you. I'm just gonna roll with that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, for the rationale, I think I think Amen has already contributed. I mean, he was their second best player in a playoff series, maybe third behind Fred. Fred was a little inconsistent, but at worst, third best player in a competitive 7-game playoff series versus a team full of vets. So I think that's pretty good for a guy who's in year 2. And like, while he's been able to contribute to winning right now, I think his athleticism alone gives him like one of the higher ceilings in the NBA. Like, if Amen gets a jump shot, like, there's like no reason that he can't be a top 5 player. Like, that's a big if, but if he does get a jump shot, there's no reason. And but like Harper, like
Top 5, like in the NBA.
if Amen Thompson gets a real jump shot, yeah,
Not an overtime elite jump shot.
yeah, the school of Peyton Marshall.
Interesting.
He has a ridiculous ceiling on top of like already being good right now. And I mean, we just haven't seen anything from Harper yet, obviously, which is like, yes, that's the case from all these 25 guys, obviously, but it's a little bit different when you're comparing them to a guy who's made an impact in the playoffs and like proven like, yes, I am here as a winner, as a contributor, and I still have this potential because I'm only 21 years old. Like in the case of Amen, I think he has like legit future as like a perfect like number 2/3 on a championship team. Like, we'll see if that's like right now with the Rockets and KD. I don't really know, but I think his just kind of like athletic traits is like, I mean, he's probably like a top 5 athlete the NBA has ever seen. Like LeBron, Shaq, like MJ. Amen is up there, like Vince. So like, you got to take that into account too. I think
I agree with you. I know we were saying we're not like talking about team fit as well, but like, I can't help but think about where Dylan Harper fits, like how he fits in San Antonio. And if you're talking about the first 3 or 4 years of his career,
could stunt.
Yeah, it could look very different than the first 3 or 4 years of Amen. So I know that's not exactly what we're talking about. If the point of this is legacy, like that, those first couple years of his career definitely could slow his development down a little bit. So I think that makes a difference as well. But yeah, I mean, Amen's already, like you said, Amen's contributing on a playoff team. So
yeah,
that's enough to push him ahead.
Okay. So next one is
this is kind of a rough trio, dude. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah,
I think so.
I like it a little bit. VJ, Stephon Castle, and Brandon Miller. Me personally,
it's kind of rough, dude.
I thought about this a little bit. I think I'm starting Brandon Miller, benching VJ, and cutting Castle. I think so. I think Brandon Miller has what it takes to be a 1A. I think he's like a perfect size of a forward with a handle. Like, he really is. Like, he wasn't lying when he said like he was like Paul George's favorite player. Like, you can see it. He's like, oddly enough, he's kind of already like the leader of that team. LaMelo might be the better player right now, but like when Miller's healthy, like it's kind of clear, like, hey, like this is the guy. Like he's kind of rallying the troops over there, which is impressive for a guy that young. You don't see that very often, especially in like places as dysfunctional as Charlotte. And then just like his pure scoring talent, and also like the volume at which he's been shooting threes. Like some people have that as a concern, but I'm like, I kind of like it, the willingness to shoot threes. And he's still tall enough to get to the basket, which is a pretty big deal to me. Those other two guys, I can't really view them as a first option, which isn't like wrong. Like there's nothing bad about that. But I think they have a lot more apparent limitations. Like VJ is undersized and like not a great finisher at the rim, which is kind of scary. And then Stephon Castle is just like not too good at anything yet. He's a good on-ball defender, but like other than that, there's a lot of stuff he still has to put together. And I don't know if he's a point guard or a two. I don't think he's a point guard, but I don't really know what he is yet, and that makes it a little hard for me to grade him.
This is another situation where I feel like it's so hard to not think about where they fit on their team, like because Brandon Miller has had some good moments and has shown his ability to put the ball in the hoop, but he's doing it for the Charlotte Hornets, and he might be the leader when he's healthy, but they are, like you said, dysfunctional, and being 1A on Charlotte is going to mean something different, like
but
anywhere else.
He's the guy who gets them out. When Charlotte rises and Brandon Miller's the guy, it's a big deal.
Okay, you talked me out of not cutting him, so I'm gonna start VJ, bench Brandon, and cut Castle.
Okay.
I feel like Castle has some limitations just as a scorer in general, and I agree. I don't know if he's a point guard or a shooting guard, or what he really does. It's clear that his fit in San Antonio is pretty odd. That's going to be interesting to watch, but yeah, I think VJ can be. I think VJ can be a 1A. I don't know if it's in Philadelphia, but I think he can do it. I think he's athletic enough to improve his finishing around the rim as well, so he can get there, which is half of the challenge, I feel like. So I'll put VJ. I'll start VJ and bench Brandon, cut Castle.
Okay, solid. All right. Next up, we got a little surprise here. Would you take Yannick Conan Niederhauser?
Whoa.
45-year-old current day Roy Hibbert, or a hot dog?
I'm gonna start the hot dog.
Yeah, I like it.
Little bit of a mismatch down low, but I feel like it's got some versatility. I feel like it's pretty obvious that we bench Roy and cut Yannick. I mean,
yeah.
Roy might be 55 or 60, but he probably knows how to score around the rim, grab a rebound, and block a shot, which are three things that Yannick can't do. So we'll go with start the hot dog. You know what? Let's start Roy, bench the hot dog, cut Yannick.
Yeah, because hot dog's just more there for like the culture. But
yeah, like
and
kind of
also,
like a.
What if Roy Hibbert just eats hot dog, and then Yannick is benched by default? That's also a possibility. But
I mean,
hot dog is safe for now.
As long as I feel like I don't know if he's a good culture guy, like maybe he could be like Udonis Haslem. You know what I mean? Like just he can kind of be around. Maybe he's like a player coach.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it too.
He could probably give some good insight.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I agree.
Okay, sweet.
I'm really glad we got that cleared up.
Yeah, that was racing my mind all day.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Next one. Okay, this one is interesting because it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of guys who a lot of people have very different opinions on, and also just the third guy who's just kind of there because I didn't really know where else to put him. But it's Con Knipple, Zach Risache, and Grady Dick.
Yeah, dude, this is another fucking curveball. Like I have no idea what to think about any of these players. Part of me wants to I really like Grady Dick, but I can't help but wonder if he's gonna get any better than get much better Like I don't like this. His mold of player is like they shoot threes, and he's athletic. He's more athletic than one of those prototypical shooters, and he can get to the rim a little bit. Like what did he average a game? Like probably 14.
I think it was 14.
Like
yeah,
14 or 15 a game this year. Like he might have one season if he gets more minutes. Where he can get that number a little bit higher up, but I don't know how much better he's really going to get. But he's also, when he's efficient, such a useful player, and he's not like a complete negative on defense. I honestly didn't want to watch many Raptors games, but I don't feel like he's a complete negative on defense, and he's got the length as well and athleticism to improve in that area a little bit. But again, I don't feel like his ceiling is all that high. So am I starting? I'm not cutting Grady, so I'm gonna bench him. I feel like that's a perfect,
middle
he
ground.
could, yeah, absolutely. Ricochet has higher ceiling but a lower floor. I was never really impressed by him when I watched him this year.
Not too much.
But didn't he have like a couple 30-point games or some like random where it's like maybe you see the vision? Who's having the better career? I'm gonna start Con, bench Grady, cut Zachary. Yeah, I mean I've spoken highly enough of Con all this draft cycle. And if we're talking about ceilings, like I feel like it's probably higher than I once thought it was. And Zach, I think Zach's is high too, but he's not very good. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with my answer there.
I like it. Yeah, I think Zach's a little flawed and doesn't really he doesn't really dribble, so there's a little bit of an issue. And you can make the same argument for Grady, but Grady is also a pretty good shooter and should be for the rest of his career. So he's got that going for him, which I think that's why we kind of both are ranking Grady above Zach. And then Khan is, I mean, definitely by far the best ball handler of the bunch, which I think is a big deal. And then has a case to be the best shooter. We'll see how it translates to the NBA, but I don't see a problem. I don't imagine it really having much problems translating aside from like maybe the first month, because that's just what happens sometimes. But yeah, I think we're in agreement there. Con, Grady, Zach.
Yeah.
All right. Next trio, I went for kind of the rim protectors of the last three drafts of who would you want to kind of be your anchor of your defense going forward. And then obviously some of them have a little bit of offensive pop, depending on how you view them. We got Malawak, Alex Sarr, and Donovan Clingan. What do you think?
I think I'm going to start Malawak, bench Sarr, and cut Clingan. And a lot of it, I think a lot of that reasoning is because of the offense. On the offensive end, I think they're already all good rebound. Or I guess Malawak isn't really that great of a rebounder, but I don't think it'll be that much of an issue.
Sarr also kind of doesn't rebound, but
yeah, I mean,
rebounding's like useless. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it just doesn't.
And Clingan gets like 30 a game.
Yeah,
and they're all good. They're all good. Like you said, all good rim protectors. I don't know if Sarr, like obviously Sarr is known as a rim protector, but I don't really think I don't know if he's a 5, like a 5 or not. Like, you could definitely put. We feel like we talked about this during mock drafts, like putting the
him and Queen thing.
Yeah, him or Queen, or like him or Malawak or someone else, like universe where that worked. But I think Malawak still has the highest ceiling of all of them. So Malawak, Sarr, Clingan.
Yeah, I think Sarr definitely has the most offensive potential of the three. I think it's fair to say. He's got a little more ball skills and certainly tries to pass, which is more than the other two guys do. They kind of stick to their roles, but Sarr clearly wants to be a little bit more than that, which is, you can view that in a couple different ways, but I'll take it as a mostly positive thing for now, as a young guy, at least trying to hone some ball skills. I think Clingan might be like the best pure rim protector of the bunch right now. But I also think Malawak is the better defender overall because, I mean, I trust him more in space than either of those two guys. Killian's just really heavy-footed. And, like, that's just kind of how his body's built. Like, I'm not sure there's much he's able to do about that. I think I can see Malawak holding up in a playoff setting better long-term. And I also think he's a pretty damn good roll man, which, I mean, is pretty valuable now in today's game, obviously. So I think I would go – I think I'm definitely starting Malawak. But when I get down to it between Sarr and Killian, it's a little tough because I think Sarr has a lot more that he needs to put together. Like Killian right now, you can kind of throw out there and be like, all right, like we know what you are. You're a positive impact player. We're comfortable with it. Sarr, it's like, whoa, like you're not that great yet. You got a lot of tools. You got to put stuff together. I kind of like banking on Sarr to like become like eventually a Jaren Jackson, which is a pretty good player to have, I would say. But there's also the bust potential, obviously. That's a tough choice. It's a coin flip, but I think I would cut Sarr and bench Killian. I think. Coin flip, though.
Killian, I feel like, is going to be that next generation of like your Valanciunas, Capella, you know, kind of like really very like a beyond serviceable starting big man. So I don't hate it at all.
Yeah. All right. Next, basically complete 180. We're going from the centers to the point guards of the last few drafts. Between Jeremiah Fears, who we were both pretty low, right? Both of us were low on.
A little bit lower on.
Yes. Reed Shepherd, who I think I might be a little higher on the consensus. And
I was high on him. I was very high on Reed.
Okay, well that's interesting then. I want to know your thoughts then.
Oh man, this is not easy at all.
Yeah,
because I mean, like it still feel like even with Scoot, who's played multiple seasons, it still feels like the sample size is kind of odd. I mean, I'm cutting Fears. I could say that confidently.
Yeah.
It's so hard to grade what Reed's gonna do. Scoot's been somewhat alarming on the offensive end. He's been pretty inefficient. And his jumper's just been kind of weird. I know Reed was just in the G League, but he's a lights out shooter. Good playmaker as well. So I think I'm going to start Reed. But it's another one of those situations, kind of like what we were just talking about with like Killian and Sarr. I feel like where I think Scoot has the tools. But would I feel more comfortable playing Reed right now over Scoot? Man, I don't know. This is tough, dude.
Yeah.
You've compiled some interesting ones. Yeah, I'm gonna start Reed, bench Scoot, and cut Fears, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's a hard decision because
yeah,
I loved Scoot and I loved Reed both as prospects, and Scoot has struggled. I actually don't even remember how did he do last season. Oh, okay, not great. Oh man, I don't know. Yeah, I'll stand by my answer, but that's a hard one because I love both of them as prospects.
It's tough because they're also very different. All three of them, honestly. I mean,
extremely.
It's like massive downhill guy, or not massive, athletic. Fears is kind of viewed as like an engine, and then Reed Shepherd is like, he's labeled as this like highly efficient, but also like really good on the defensive side of the ball, which I don't think a lot of people have totally grasped yet. Like Reed Shepherd is really good on that side of the ball. I think he averaged like nearly a block and a half per game in summer league last year. I get it, summer league, but he's a 6'2" guard who's getting over a block a game. That's almost unheard of. I think if Reed like puts together the jump shot, which has been very, very fluky throughout his career. I guess not fluky is the word, but inconsistent. If he puts that together, then I think he's kind of like clear cut number one, just because of his ability to like not only lead in the offense, but be a complement at that point. If the catch and shoot comes around, I'm definitely cutting Fears here too. I've mentioned on multiple episodes before I'm kind of out on Fears. Scoot, I really like Scoot. He can't seem to string together more than like 3 or 4 weeks in a row of good play. He's just super. He might be the most inconsistent player in the league right now, honestly. Because he'll have flashes where it's like, yeah, this is the Blazers guy going forward, and then there's other ones where it's like, should he even be closing the game right now, or should we have been going to Anthony Simons? So, tough call there. I think I'm going to go the same as you. I'm going to start. No, I lied. I'm trusting my gut. I'm starting Scoot. I'll bench Reed. That's very close. And then I'm cutting Fears. But yes.
This isn't overly relevant to this conversation, but I love Drew Holiday there, specifically for Scoot. Not that that's like a career arc he's going to follow, but he hasn't had much guidance, I feel like, or mentorship yet. That's going to be really important for him.
Agree. Yeah. All right. The next one we've got is other guys who are, I think these guys are, it's fair to say they're in the same mold in terms of you kind of have to make it as an elite scorer, you're kind of done.
Yeah.
It's Ace, Shaden Sharp, and Benedict Mathurin.
I know my answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm starting Shaden Sharp. I love Shaden Sharp. Just like an insane freak of an athlete. And has such a smooth offensive game. I don't know. I really can't, and maybe you can speak to this for me, and maybe it'll change my answer. I don't really know how good he is on defense. I don't think of him as like, I don't think he's horrible, but kind of just like an average. Would you say he's an average defender? Would that be a fair assessment, or is he bad? I don't really.
Of Shaden?
Yeah. Not great.
I don't think he's like god awful, but like he's athletic enough to where he should be able to put it together as he gets older.
I was gonna say, and like, I don't think any of these guys are necessarily known as elite defenders. Mathurin, I feel like we kind of, I mean, he did not have a great playoffs outside of the one game where he like almost sent the entire town of Oklahoma City jumping off a cliff, because that was infuriating.
The cliffs of Oklahoma.
Yeah, or I'm sure there's
a Brahms roof.
I'm sure there might be a bridge or something. So I don't know. He was pretty bad, and that's a good way to, if we're judging a men that way, I feel like it's fair to judge Mathurin that way. And he wasn't great, and he didn't have a great season either. So, and there was at least at first there was minutes in a roll for him too. So, but then there's Ace, and I don't know. I'm going to start Shaden. Actually, I'm kind of rethinking my answer. I was going to bench Mathurin and cut Ace, but part of me feels like if Ace can figure it out on defense, then I feel like he has an advantage over Mathurin. So I'm going to do that, actually. I'm going to start Shaden, bench Ace, cut Mathurin. I don't think either of them are going to be particularly great. I do think Sharp is going to continue to be a very good player. I feel like he's been getting better every year. Yeah, I mean, he averaged almost 19 points a game this season. And he's only 20 or 21, or he's 22, so he's still very young. So I'm going to start Shaden. I feel like that's kind of a clear-cut answer again. Benching Ace, cutting Mathurin.
Yeah. I think I'm definitely cutting Mathurin. He kind of seems like he's going to be confined to this role as like explosive six man who kind of needs the ball, which there's a role for guys like that in the league, just not everywhere. And it's overall just kind of an iffy role that like, hey, sometimes he'll win you a game. Oftentimes he'll lose you a game. So it just kind of, wins and losses. Shaden, I'm looking at it now. Shaden's jumper has got worse every year he's been in the league. So that's a bit of a problem that I don't know. But like he went from 36 to 33 to 31 and from beyond the arc. It's a problem, but I don't think he'll sit at 31. I think he is more of a 35 guy than 31. Uh, as crazy as this sounds, is like because I've been pretty low on Ace. I mean, in our what would we do mock draft? We had Ace slide all the way to 16. We're both pretty low on him. I'm still debating starting him over Shaden. I think Ace gives you a little bit more defensively, and like I think if there's a world where a team can get Ace to buy in and be like the number 3 or the number 4 guy, and like really try on defense, like he's got like a McHale mold. Like obviously doesn't have the McHale wingspan, but like I don't know. I think he shows activity enough sometimes to where like if someone gets him to buy in, like I do think he could work out. Shaden, I think, is like dangerously close to falling to that like 6-man area. So as crazy as it sounds, I think I'm going to start Ace.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I feel like if Shaden was on any other team but Portland or those bottom teams, I mean, his role probably looks a little bit different. So
Yeah.
I guess I don't hate it.
Yeah. Since we're coming up on the hour mark, we can start rapid firing through these pretty much. Just little quick explanations, but see how it goes. Next group, kind of some scores. We got Trey Johnson, Jared McCain, who obviously only played a little bit last year, and then Jaden Ivey.
You go first.
I think I'm going to start Trey Johnson. Pure jumper. I mean, him and Jared McCain are right there in terms of shooters. Trey's a little bit bigger. I like it. They're very close. I'm going to go Trey and then Jared McCain and then Jaden Ivey, just because Ivey hasn't really done much yet. A little weird on what his role might be.
I'm doing the same. It hurts my soul because I love Jaden Ivey. I watched him all throughout college because of the Purdue connection. But yeah, I'm doing the same. Again, not relevant, but I don't know where Jared McCain fits next year. But he does so many things so well that he's gonna find a place on an NBA team for a long time. So I'll do the same thing as you. Sweet.
All right. Next group, bigger point guards / I wouldn't even say bigger, just point guards. Yegor Demin, Nikola Topic, and Anthony Black.
Start Yegor. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna. Oh man, Topic is it's a hard one. I don't know. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start Topic, bench Black, and make Igor Demin retire.
Solid.
Yeah.
I'm cutting Yegor. Little bit torn on Black and Topic. I think Anthony Black could work out as a complimentary guy, and I think he's going to be pretty good on defense too. Get that jumper to fall around, and he's golden. I'm going to start Anthony Black. I'll bench Topic. Just mix it up a little bit. All right, next group. 2 of your Bulls, Noah Essengay, Matas Buzelis, and Tumani Kamara. I kind of think this one's clear cut, but you may have a different opinion.
I don't think it's clear cut. Well, actually, I mean, I'm starting
by clear cut. I meant like it clear in terms of the ranking, not like out of the. Never mind.
I'm starting Buzelis.
Okay.
And I don't know about the other two. I think I see a lot of Tumani Kamara and Noah.
Yeah.
Which makes it kind of hard. I think Noah has a higher ceiling, so maybe but Tumani Kamara is really fucking good, dude, and he hasn't been in the league for a while, but he's getting better every year. But I don't think he has the offensive potential that Noah has, so I'm going to start Buzelis, bench Noah, cut Tumani. That hurts the heart a little bit, though, because I like Tumani Kamara.
A little bit, yeah. I kind of think the argument there is like which sounds like we both do, envision Noah as like a Tumani type player with a little bit more upside. Tumani already is Tumani. So, yeah. And then Matas is kind of similar to Tumani, except he's got the upside and he's like a lot closer to Tumani than Noah is. So I think that warrants the start. Next group, more wings, Cedric Coward, Jalen Wells, and Bilal Coulibaly.
Coward, Wells, Coulibaly. Man, I feel like I'm gonna if I say what I think I'm about to say, I might like I feel like I'm going back on a player I've defended a lot in the first 4 episodes
Yeah.
because my gut kind of wants to cut Coward,
Yeah.
start Bilal, and bench Jalen Wells. And for the sake of time, I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. I think Coward has more on-ball juice than either of them, that's definitely something. I think Wells kind of is what he is. I don't expect too much growth from Wells, but he's a really good player right now. And Bilal is just a monster defensively, who if he puts it together offensively, it could be something nice. But you know what? I've been a big Bilal guy. I think I'll start Bilal, I'll bench Cedric, and I'll cut Wells. So we're in the same mode there.
I actually completely agree with what you said about Jalen Wells, and I actually would switch my order to yours. I completely agree. I don't think Jalen Wells is getting.
Yeah.
I don't think Wells is getting much better.
Yeah. Next group, we got some more interesting big guys. Derek Queen, Zach Edey, Mark Williams. I know what I would do here. I think I'm banking on the Queen ball skills. I'm going to start Queen, and I'll bench Mark Williams and cut Edey, but that's close.
I'm going to start Mark Williams, bench Derek Queen, and cut Zach Edey.
Solid.
Zach Edey's not getting much better. Mark Williams is like, he still has a ceiling, but you mentioned to me, like, I thought he was this like great center. Then you said a couple episodes ago, like, Michael, he's really not that, like, he hasn't been as good as you think.
Yeah.
And you're right. But there are still glimpses that I don't think either of these two will have or have had. So
there's stuff there for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
More point guards: Jack Uchonis, Isaiah Collier, Cason Wallace. I'm going to start Cason Wallace. I mean, right now he's like a top 80 player. Those guys aren't. It's kind of hard to pass up. Yeah, start Wallace, bench Jack Uchonis, and cut Collier. I don't think Collier's very good at all. But
I like Collier, but I agree with you. Yeah, same exact order for me.
Sweet. Okay.
What is this, bro? What is this?
This one. Okay. Hear out the vision on this one. It's guys who are, I mean, pretty loaded on potential, I think is the general consensus. But have like a long way to go. But if they do figure it out, it's like would be as a pretty prominent role, not just like a glue guy. Hanson Yang or Yang Hansen, whichever way it is, Rob Dillingham and Gigi Jackson. I thought this was a fun one, really interesting. I think just for funsies, I'll start Yang Hansen. I'll cut Rob and I'll bench Gigi.
I'm starting Gigi, benching Rob.
Whoa.
Cutting Hanson Young. Young and Rob are such raw players, and I think their flaws are both so significant. Young's flaw is that he's just not very good.
Is Rob?
And Rob is also not that good. I think his flaw is obviously his size, and that's something that's going to ding him for his entire career, and he might be hurt for a lot of his career because of it, because I don't think I don't know. He might take like a kind of like a Bones Highland esque career arc. But I
career looks like it's about over as of
yeah, today. But that should say what I think about Hanson Young. So
wow, all right,
leave it at that.
Okay, on record on the Hanson Young hate train.
Not hating. I just don't think he's
that's
very
what
good.
It seems like. That's what it seems like. Ryan Rosillo would not like you. All right, back to bigs. Oops, I accidentally had Donovan Clingan twice on the list, so we're gonna keep him in here twice, I guess.
No,
Sorbear, Donovan Clingan, Walker Kessler. I'll be bold. I'll start Sorbear. I'll bench Kessler, cut Clingan.
I literally couldn't give you the slightest idea of what I would do here.
Sweet.
Did I bench? Did I cut Clingan?
I don't. That was
Yes.
one I didn't.
Yes.
You did. Okay.
Mhm.
Yes.
I cut Klingon.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm using that as a judgment. I'm gonna start Kessler, bench Sorber, and cut DC again.
Gotcha. All right. Next defensive specialist, Colin Murray Boyles, Kella Ware, and Asar Thompson. I would start Kella Ware. I think he's
Yep.
kind of amazing.
Yep.
I'd probably bench Asar just off
Yep.
the table and then cut Colin
Yep.
Murray.
Yep.
They're
Yep.
all sick though.
Yep.
Ware's-
Completely agree. Dude,
Ware-
Ware is really I really love Khalil Ware. I'm
he went
excited.
very under the radar. Like this guy is like this guy is what people think Miles Turner is. There's a lot of stuff there. Like,
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
More defensive specialists, just worse versions this time. Noah Pinda, Ryan Dunn, Jarris Walker.
Oh man, free Jarris Walker, dude.
Yeah, I would start Jarris Walker.
Yeah.
Hopefully he gets a good season this year, a little more front court openings.
Mhm.
I would start Jarris Walker, bench Noah Pinda, cut Ryan Dunn.
Yeah, I mean, I told you this, dude. I want Ryan Dunn to be so good, so bad, but he's just not at all. So,
Yeah.
I'm doing the same thing as you.
Sweet.
100%.
Alrighty. Next group, guards, Jace Richardson, Bub Carrington, Brandon Podziemski.
This is a really interesting group of players.
Yeah.
That I don't know what to do with.
I think I'd start Pods.
I was gonna say start Bub.
Okay, I'm totally behind that. Yeah.
You could probably make an argument for like I don't think there's a few on this list, but this far down the line, it's pretty impressive that you can make an argument for starting all three of these guys.
Yeah.
Oh man. Start Bub, bench pods, cut Jace. It feels kind of wrong cutting Jace, but I used to really not like pods, but he's such a unique and kind of crafty player. He's earned his way, into that rotation. So I'm gonna roll with that.
Yeah. I think Jace, aside from like obviously like the top three guys, Jace is the one I felt the worst about cutting so far because I think he's awesome.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Maybe Hansen.
Yeah. Next group, kind of rangy wings who have a long ways to go, but pretty high potential. Carter Bryant, Tidjane Salon, and Bryce Sensabaugh.
We are both starting Bryce Sensabaugh, right?
I'm starting Carter Bryant.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's close though. I think him and Sensabaugh are like decently similar.
Yeah. This one is so interesting because Salon was the 7th pick in the draft last year. Like,
oh man.
Oh god. He was taken in the top 10 last year.
Yeah.
So, I'm starting Bryce, benching Carter and cutting Salon.
Yeah, I think
Salon's an interesting piece on that team though. That's pretty forgettable, but he's there.
I actually I'm not like cutting out hope for him yet.
I'm not either.
Something there. Yeah.
He didn't play that much at all, did he?
No. He should probably get another chance. There's no reason to like play Josh Okogie over him or anything.
Yeah.
I
okay. Agree.
Next group, 3-and-D wings, Drake Powell, Keyshawn George, and Julian Strother.
I think I'm starting Keyshawn George.
You were hating on him an episode or two ago.
Was I really?
Yeah, you were like, Keyshawn George is kind of a funky player. I don't think he's all that good. I think it was like word for word.
Oh. Well, I'm cutting Strother. I can tell you that.
Okay.
I'm cutting Strother. I don't remember saying that. But I guess I do. I'll start Drake, cut George, or bench George, cut Strother.
I think this is the first one where we've conflicted between like one of us started and one of us cut the same guy. So I think I'm going to start Strother.
You started Hansen and I cut him.
Right, yeah. That was for funsies though.
Whatever, dude.
I'm going to start Strother. He's got a little more juice on ball than the other two guys. Drake Powell and Keyshawn George are pretty similar. I'll go Drake Powell. He's my guy. But
I feel like Drake Powell's going to be a much better defender than Keyshawn George, though.
Probably. Yeah. Okay, last group, high volume scores. We'll see what they can do. Walter Clayton, AJ Johnson, Cam Whitmore. I think I would start Walter Clayton. AJ Johnson is tiny, man. He's tiny. So I think I'd bench Cam Whitmore and cut AJ Johnson.
Yeah, I'm gonna start Cam Whitmore and bench Walter Clayton, cut AJ Johnson. But AJ Johnson is another player I'm holding out hope for because he also has I remember making recruiting rankings for that recruiting class and loving AJ Johnson and Trenton Flowers.
Trent Flowers. The Clippers G League team was posting a Trenton Flowers highlight reel the other day, being like, "Watch out for Trenton Flowers next year, guys. He could play."
I would love for him to be good. I have the same love for Trenton Flowers I did for Brandon Boston. I don't know why.
He sucks. Yeah,
dude, stop. But yeah, now I'm gonna start Whitmore, bench Clayton, cut AJ. But AJ might have the highest ceiling, but I mean it's good. He's gonna have to bulk up and become a serviceable basketball player. So.
Yeah, probably he probably would need to become a serviceable player to be.
Yeah, that probably would be good.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, I used to be pretty high on AJ Johnson too. I had last year I have a little notepad of it. It was just on my iPhone notes. It was 3 underrated draft guys I like, and it was before the draft happened. It was AJ Johnson, Justin Edwards, and Nikola Jurisic. Do you remember that guy?
Yeah.
He's stinking it up with the College Park Skyhawks. So I might have missed on that one, but the other 2 I'll take as wins. Okay.
Okay, dude.
So running through it now, based off of our picks, I'm gonna try and tally up how many guys we started from the classes real quick. So counting for you first, you started out of rookies, 2025 rookies, started VJ, Khan, Malawak, Trey. But you'll be a rookie, so I'll count that as a 2025 guy. And then Drake Powell. So, and then for me, for 2025 rookies, I also started Khan, Malawak, Ace, Trey, Queen, Young, Sorbear. Why did I say it like that?
No idea, dude. Don't.
Walter Clayton and Carter Bryant. So I had a little more 2025 rookies than you.
I'm really surprised you started Ace.
I just I don't know. I don't think he's very good, but I think a lot of the same struggles he has can be said about Shaden and Mathurin. Besides, they're better athletes than him, but I view them all very similarly.
Yeah.
I think there is a world where Ace buys in as a starter, and these other guys, I kind of only view them as a 6-man.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong on that, but we'll see.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Any parting thoughts before we wrap up?
There's never any thoughts in my brain.
Yeah, that's valid. Me too. You could probably figure that out from our discussion today. A lot of interesting players. Going to be interesting. I think there are a ton of fascinating young players in the NBA right now. So we're in for a really intriguing couple of seasons here of basketball, I feel like. But that's all we have today. Here, the 6th episode. Thanks for listening in, and we'll see you guys next time.